Hi, this is the Honest Poppy and welcome to session 4 of the Beginners Pilates Matwork series. If you are joining us for the first time and you have not completed sessions 1, 2 and 3, I would highly recommend having a look at those first before you carry on, as we're going to be bringing in some of the exercises that I taught you in those sessions, and we're going to be going at quite a fast pace with those ones because the assumption is that you now know those exercises, you've practiced them, and there won't be as much time and cueing spent on those ones. Again, if you have done those but you've only done them maybe once or twice, maybe just recap and go through those again before you move on to the session, because as I said, we're going to be doing a lot more exercises today. We're going to be going through all the old exercises that I taught you in those sessions, as well as bringing in some new exercises. So the new exercises we're going to bring in today are going to be the half roll back, the roll up, one leg circle, and roll over prep. These are all going to be focusing on the abdominals in different ways. We're going to be focusing on lumbar mobility and abdominal strength and stability with these. So if you're ready to get started, let's go. As always, we will start with our warm-up. So let's start with some breathing. So you're going to sit up in a neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and if you usually sit on a cushion or a block for this, grab that now and pop that underneath. You're going to breathe in to prepare and out as you roll forwards from your neck all the way down your spine, flexing over your legs and just staying down in this position, taking this time to focus on your breathing. You're breathing into the sides of your rib cage to start with. Relax your neck and your shoulders, just letting your rib cage move freely, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And on that last breath, you're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, roll yourself back up to sitting again, starting at the base of your spine and finishing with your neck. We're going to roll down one more time, in to prepare, and out as you roll forward. But this time, focus the breath into the back of your rib cage. So feel your ribs expand towards the wall behind you on your inhale, and then draw them away on your exhale. Keep those shoulders relaxed. And we're going to do one more breath, breathing in. And as you breathe out, roll yourself back up to neutral sitting again. Going on to your pelvic floor activation, so lying on your back. And again, you're in a neutral spine, neutral pelvis, everything is relaxed. You're just focusing on those core muscles inside. You're going to breathe in to prepare. And as you breathe out, you're going to contract your pelvic floor muscles. As you breathe in, relax them and switch them off. As you breathe out, contract them again. As you breathe in, relax. Remember, this is a light contraction on the pelvic floor. If you need to start quite strong on the contraction just to connect and find these muscles, that's fine. But make sure that you bring that all the way down to about a 10% contraction. So it's a very light activation on the pelvic floor. 2 more. And last one. Now we're going to add our transversus contraction. This is also a core muscle. Remember, it sits around your body like a corset. There's no movement when you contract this, just that firm feeling underneath your fingertips if you place them on top of your pelvis. So breathing in to prepare and out as you contract transversus now. As you breathe in, relax. As you breathe out, contract. And as you breathe in, relax. Remember, no movement, staying in that neutral position, just contracting those core muscles and then relaxing them as you breathe in. We're going to do 2 more. And last one. And relax on your inhale. Next, we're going to go into imprint and release. So now you are going to be moving your pelvis into a posterior tilt, so tilting it backwards to stabilize your pelvis and lower back. And this is just practice for when we do exercises where the legs are up in the air. So you're going to breathe in to prepare. You're in neutral to start with. As you breathe out, think about pulling your hip bones towards your rib cage. Remember, we're not pushing with the legs. We're keeping the hamstrings and the glutes inactive here. It's just the abdominals pulling the pelvis. And then on your inhale, you're going to release back to neutral again. On your exhale, pull those hip bones towards your rib cage, tightening up the abs and stabilizing your lower back. And then on your inhale, release back to neutral. We're going to go for 4 more, breathing in to prepare and out as you imprint. As you breathe in, release. 3 more. As you breathe out, contract and imprint. As you breathe in, release. 2 more. And then on that last one, I want you to imprint and hold your imprint. We're going to test the imprint now by bringing the legs up into tabletop. Bring one leg up to tabletop to start with, and then bring it back down again. Now the other leg, breathing in as you lift and out as you lower. Make sure you're not losing your imprint here. Make sure you're not starting to push into the mat with the leg that's still down. Last one. And then breathing out as you lower. Now the double lift. So one at a time, breathing in as you lift one leg, followed by the other, still holding that imprint, no movement here. Breathe out as you lower, one at a time, keeping that imprint. Breathe in as you lift, one at a time, and out as you lower. We're going to do 2 more of these. In as you lift, out as you lower, and last one, in as you lift, and out as you lower. And then you can release that imprint so you're back into neutral. We're going to go into hip release now. So keeping that neutral pelvis, holding that stability using transversus, mobilizing the hip joint. So breathe in to prepare, out as you take your knee out to the side and slide your foot away. And then breathe in as you roll in and bring that leg back. Out as your leg moves away, in as it comes back. Keeping the other leg still, keeping the pelvis still. 1 more in this direction. Now change direction, going straight first. Roll your leg out, bend your knee and come back up to center. And 2. And 1. And back to center. Over to the other leg now. First take your knee out, slide away, roll in and bring it back for 3, 2, and 1. Then change direction, going straight. Roll out, bend and up to center. And 2, and last one, and back to center. Going into hip rolls next. Tuck your feet back a little bit closer to your bottom. Make sure you keep them hip width apart. Starting in neutral, breathe in to prepare, and then out as you roll through a posterior tilt, curling your spine as you come up off the mat, and finishing in neutral in a nice straight line, keeping those legs neutral, keeping your rib cage flat so the obliques are engaged here. Breathe in to stay, and then out as you roll down, bringing the rib cage down first, curling through your lower back, going through that pelvic tilt all the way back to neutral. In to prepare, and out as you roll up. In to stay, and out as you roll down. 2 more. In to prepare, out as you roll up, really mobilizing that spine with a nice active stretch. In to stay, and out as you roll down. And last one, in to prepare, out as you roll up. Breathing in to stay, and out as you roll back down and back to your neutral position. Okay, we're going to move on to our side for spinal rotation now. For spinal rotation, you're going to be lying on your side. You do need something underneath your head, so either a block or a cushion or a rolled up towel, anything to have your head in a nice neutral position. You're going to have your hips and knees bent to 90 degrees, and you're going to lie on your arms so that your rib cage isn't down on the mat. Otherwise, your spine is going to be in a horizontal curve. Reach your arms out in front of you, and you're going to breathe in as you reach up to the ceiling, following your hand with your gaze. Breathe out as you rotate just your rib cage round, and your shoulder will follow. Keep your abdominals and your pelvis neutral, just letting the upper part of your body rotate. You're going to breathe in to stay, and out to stay. Breathe in to stay. And then as you breathe out, pull yourself back round to your start position, activating the abdominals. Breathe in as you reach up, and out as you rotate. Just be careful not to drop your arm back here. Keep your arm in line with your chest. Breathe in to stay, and out to stay. Breathe in to stay, and out as you twist back around. Last one on this side. In as you reach up, and out as you rotate. In to stay, and out to stay. In to stay, and out as you twist yourself back round to your start position. Okay, flip over onto the other side and we'll repeat. Okay, so same setup again. Make sure that you are on your arm and that your hips and knees are 90 degrees. You're going to breathe in as you reach up to the ceiling, and out as you rotate just the rib cage round. Breathe in to stay, and out to stay. in to stay, out as you pull yourself back round, in as you reach up, and out as you rotate. Be careful, keep your lower back neutral here, and be careful you don't extend your back in this position. That's why your hips and knees are bent to 90 degrees. Breathing in to stay, and out to stay, in to stay, and out as you come back around. Last one on this side, in as you reach up, and out as you rotate, and in to stay, out to stay, in to stay, and then out as you twist yourself back round to where you started. We're going to go onto all fours for cat stretch now. So make sure you're in neutral, your hands are directly below your shoulders, your knees directly below your hips, and you're starting with a neutral spine. You're going to breathe in to prepare, and then out as you tuck in, starting from your pelvis, moving all the way up your spine and finishing with your head down. Breathe in to stay, and then out as you extend, again from the pelvis first through the lower back. Keep your abdominals on and keep your shoulders active here. In to stay, out as you tuck in and round your spine. Breathing in to stay, and out as you move into extension, arching your back but keeping it active and controlled. Last set, in to stay, out as you tuck in and round your spine. And breathe in to stay, and out as you move into extension again from your lower back all the way through the shoulders into the neck, and then bring yourself back to neutral. We're going to go into scapular protraction and retraction. While we're in this position, weight bearing through the arms, you're going to breathe in as you lower your chest towards the mat slightly, so pulling the shoulder blades slightly towards the spine, and then breathe out as you push away. Breathe in as you lower down, out as you push away. Make sure that you're keeping the rest of your spine in neutral and you're not dropping your head. It's just moving with your body as you lower and push away from the mat. 2 more. Last one. And then find that neutral position of the shoulder blades again. Okay, finally we're going to go onto our backs for arm circles, elevation and depression, and finishing off with the head nod. So lying in neutral again, arms up to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Keep your rib cage stabilized here. You're going to breathe in to prepare, out as you go overhead and circle round to your hips. In as you come up through the middle again. Remember, as you're doing this, you don't have to go so far overhead that you touch the ground. If your shoulders don't reach that far and your rib cage wants to pop up, that's too far. Just go where you feel comfortable. Arm circles are about stretching your arms away from you and just gently mobilizing the shoulder blades, not reaching as far as you can. Okay, let's change direction now, circling around and up the back, and then coming down through the middle again. For 3, and 2, and last one, circling all the way around, and then bring your arms down to rest at your sides on the mat, palms down. Keep your whole arm in contact with the mat. Breathe in as you bring your shoulders up to your ears, out as you stretch your hands down to your feet. In as you bring your shoulders to your ears, out as you stretch away. 2 more, in and out, and last one, in and out, and then relax your shoulders in neutral. We're going to finish our warm-up with the head nod, where you're taking your gaze from the ceiling all the way down to look at your knees, and your neck is doing that small nod, and then you're going to release back to neutral again. So breathing in as you nod, out as you release, in as you nod, out as you release. 2 more, in as you nod, out as you release, and last one, in and release. Okay, and now we're going to go straight into our workout. So going into ab prep, you're going to stay in this position. You're going to use that head nod as we start to prepare the abdominals for the workout. So you're going to breathe in with a head nod, eyes on your knees. Breathe out as you come up into thoracic flexion. So that's your upper spine bending forward. You're pulling your rib cage down to your tummy, hovering your arms in line with your shoulders. Breathe in to stay, and out as you roll yourself back down. 3 more, in to prepare, and out as you come up. Breathe in to stay, and out as you come back down again. Last 2, in to prepare, out as you come up. Keep your eyes on your knees so you don't overwork your neck. Breathe in to stay, and out as you come back down. And the final one, breathe in to prepare, out as you come up, in to stay, and out as you come back down again. And that's your ab prep. We're going to flip over for breaststroke prep now. So we're going to be bending the thoracic spine the opposite direction now. You're going to breathe in with that reverse head nod now. Breathe out as you extend the thoracic spine. Make sure you don't go into your lower back here. Breathe in to stay and out as you come back down again. In to prepare with a reverse head nod. Out as you extend the thoracic spine. Breathing in to stay and out as you come back down again. Last one of these. In to prepare and out as you extend. Remember, this is around your bra strap area, or for those of you not wearing a bra, it's around the lower shoulder blade area. In to stay and out as you come back down again. And then we're going to come back into a shell stretch after that extension. Rounding your spine. Imagine there's a ball in your lap. We're not lying on your lap. You're rounding with an active stretch. Breathing in and then out as you roll yourself back up to neutral again. And let's go into the 100. So back onto your back again. We're going to need the imprint because this time both of your legs are going to be up in the air. You're going to be reaching them on the diagonal. If you still need to use the tabletop position, that's fine as a modification. And if you feel like you can lower your legs a little bit lower on that diagonal to challenge yourself, feel free to do that. Just make sure that you maintain that stability in your lower back the whole way through. Okay, so going into an imprint, then bring your legs up into tabletop one at a time. And you're going to breathe in with a head nod, out as you come up into your ab prep position, and then stretch your legs away on that diagonal. Remember, we want to keep everything engaged here, and we're going to reach those arms away as we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 10, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 20, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 30, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 40, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, halfway, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 60, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 70, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 80, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 90, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 100. Come back to tabletop, then bring your head down, legs down one at a time. Please don't collapse out of the 100, and then release your imprint at the end. Well done. We're going to head into our first new exercise next. This first new exercise is called the half rollback, and it's actually an introduction into the next exercise, which is also going to be a new exercise today. So it's really important to get the concept of this right. Now, if you tend to feel like you need to sit on a block when you're sitting upright in this position to get into a neutral spine, this is a really good one to sit on a cushion or a block for, just to get more comfortable and to get that availability of range in the lower back. If you're comfortable sitting on the mat, that's also fine. So it's up to you how you want to start your positioning. Okay, the half rollback, you're going to start in a neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and you're going to be reaching the arms out in front of you. Now your arms are going to stay parallel to the ground the whole way through this exercise, but make sure that you bring those shoulders down into a stable position each time you roll back. So this is how it starts. You're going to breathe in to prepare. And then as you breathe out, you're going to roll back, leading from the pelvis, rounding your spine into what we call a C-spine. So it's that curve all the way through, into flexion all the way through. It doesn't matter if your feet lift up off the mat, that's okay. Just make sure that you are hip width apart and that you've activated the abdominals. So you've pulled the rib cage and the hip bones closer together. And now you're going to hold yourself in that rounded C-spine the whole way through. Okay, my neck is also following the curve of my spine, and it's not going to move independently. It's going to stay in that position with my body. I've gone halfway back, so it's a half roll back. My shoulders are away from my ears, and then I'm going to come forward in that C-spine, still reaching my arms parallel to the ground. And as you'll notice, if I keep that curve in my neck, my head ends up between my arms, looking down at my knees. Okay, so I'm not looking forward. I'm not going into extension here. That's going to cause a lot of overactivity in the upper traps with your arms reaching forward, and you might find you either get a cramp in your neck or you just end up feeling uncomfortable after a while. So your head is between your arms, your neck hasn't moved, okay? And then you're going to come back into that rounded position. So you've stayed round all the way through, but you're going to come back hinging from the hip, still reaching the arms forward, but drop the shoulders away. Okay, so what you need to be careful of is when you come forward, if you're reaching forward, obviously the shoulders are going to lift up, they're going to elevate. But as you come back, don't leave them up like that. Again, too much in the upper traps here. You want to drop the shoulders as you come back, and you're keeping that abdominal engagement the whole way through this exercise. So you're kind of just hinging from the hip, like a letter C, just going backwards and forwards, okay? So you're gonna breathe in to prepare, out as you roll back into your C-spine, in as you come forward, out as you come back, in as you come forward, out as you come back. We're gonna go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then finally rolling yourself back up to that neutral start position. And that is called the half roll back in preparation for the next exercise, which is called the roll up. This next exercise is called the roll up, and that's exactly what it is. So you're going to lie on your back with your legs straight, again, hip width apart, and your pelvis is in neutral. Your start position is with your arms overhead on the diagonal. And again, this is only at a position where you are able to keep your rib cage flat on your tummy. So please don't start back here with the abdominals completely inactive and the rib cage popping up. You want to have those ribs down and ready to start with. The roll up looks like this. You're going to breathe in as you reach up to the ceiling and head nod. Breathe out as you roll yourself up off the mat. Again, sequentially moving through your spine, slowly moving into flexion, reaching the arms forward. So here I'm in that C-spine position that I was in for the half roll back, keeping my neck following the curve of my spine. I'm going to come forward, reaching the arms forward, keeping my neck in that position. So again, my head is going to end up between my arms here. I'm not looking forward, looking down at my knees, reaching the arms parallel to the ground. Then you're going to breathe in as you start to roll back, dropping those shoulders again, just like in the half roll back. And then breathe out as you roll yourself down, slow and controlled, slowly bringing that spine from a flex position back into neutral and taking the arms overhead, keeping the obliques switched on to stabilize the rib cage. Okay, so this can be quite a tough exercise. It does require strength, but it also requires quite a lot of spinal mobility in the lumbar-thoracic junction. Okay, so where your lower back and your middle back join, often it's quite sticky and quite stiff, and if you have that stickiness and that stiffness there, you might find when you get to this point, you can't go any further, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean you don't have enough strength in your abdominals, although this can contribute, but a lot of the time it's more about the mobility in your spine, and the more you do this exercise, the more mobility you'll get and the easier it will get, so just keep at it. I like to introduce this exercise early because it is so effective in strengthening the abdominals, strengthening the abdominal control, moving all the way through the spine, but also in mobilizing an area that most people are very, very stiff in their backs. Okay, it's also going to get into the hamstrings at the end here where you're reaching forward. You're going to get a really nice hamstring stretch, also getting into the nerve stretch there, which is quite handy. So obviously don't go any further than what feels comfortable. It should feel like a stretch, but not painful. Okay, so let's go through that again. Your start position with the arms overhead on the diagonal. You're going to breathe in with a head nod and then breathe out as you roll yourself up off the mat. You're going through an ab prep position and then you're going to come through that lower back. This is the tricky bit where it's really difficult to get through. So try your best not to lift your feet when you do this. Otherwise, you're going to be using your hip flexors, okay, not the abdominals. All right, you're going to be reaching forward, taking your head down through between your arms, reaching, stretch into those hamstrings. Then breathe in as you start to roll back, coming off the sit bones, drop your shoulders, keeping the arms parallel to the ground, and then breathe out as you roll down. Now, don't forget your transversus and pelvic floor engagement. This really helps the abs to stabilize as you come down and up through this area, so don't forget those, okay? I know there's a lot to think about with this exercise. We're going to do one more, breathing in as you reach up to the ceiling with a head nod, out as you roll up, coming all the way through and over, eyes on your knees all the way through, so don't move your neck into extension. Breathe in as you start to roll back, dropping those shoulders again, and then breathe out as you roll back down to your start position, all the way through, trying your best not to let those legs lift off the mat. Now, ideally, you want your feet to be in dorsiflexion, so flat feet, pulling your toes towards you. But if you really don't have the range and if you're quite tight in the back of your legs, you might find it easier to point your toes. It's not the end of the world if you need to do that as a modification. Okay, practice that as much as possible. Like I said, the more you do it, the easier it gets, especially even within a day, you will find Initially, the first few goes are quite tight and quite stiff, and then the more you do it, the looser you get. Okay, so keep trying that one, give it a go. It is going to come up in a lot of the workouts that I do because it is a very effective all-rounder exercise. So keep practicing the roll-up. Moving on to our next new exercise, it is called one leg circle, and that's exactly what it is, okay? It's circling one leg around, and it's very similar in concept to hip release that we do in the warm-up. It's about keeping a stable pelvis in neutral while your hip joint mobilizes, okay? But this time your leg is going to be up in the air, so you don't have the support of the ground. Okay, so the easiest modification of this one is going to be with one leg bent with your foot on the mat to help you stabilize. Your pelvis is neutral, as I mentioned, and your arms are at your sides. The other leg is going to come up into tabletop. Now, a lot of people ask me, do I need to be imprinted here? No, only one leg is up. We imprint when both legs are up in the air, okay? And this is about stabilizing in neutral. It is a safe exercise because your other leg is helping to stabilize your lower back, so we're not putting the lower back at risk. Okay, we're going to do circles with this leg. Now, the full exercise is with the legs straight and circling round, but again, you're going to need a lot of range of movement in the hamstrings particularly to be able to achieve that. So I usually start this one with the leg in tabletop, okay? You're going to imagine that you've got a pen or a pencil sticking out of the top of your knee, and you're going to be drawing circles with that. Be careful not to rotate your hip when you do this. So your foot and your knee need to stay in line, pointing forwards the whole way through. You're going to breathe in as you circle your leg inwards across the midline and up towards your face, and then breathe out as you circle that leg away. Now, if you're finding it tricky to keep everything still, do really, really small circles to start with and gradually increase the size of your circle as you feel like your stability improves, okay? Use your breath as you circle away because that's going to help you switch on the abdominals to help you stabilize the pelvis, okay? We're going to go 2 more in this direction. And last one. And then we're going to change direction, circle the other way. Another thing you might notice while you're doing this exercise is that your hip might click. This is very, very common, and a lot of my clients ask me, is it okay that my hip is clicking? If it doesn't hurt, that's okay. It's usually quite normal for this to happen because it's your tendons and your ligaments just clicking over as you circle. As long as you don't do it too many times, it's totally fine and totally normal. Okay, last one in this direction. And then bring that leg down to the mat. We're going to switch to the other side now. So the other leg is down on the mat now with your foot flat, and this one is going to come up into tabletop, breathing in as you circle inwards, out as you circle away. You may also notice that this is a bit more difficult to stabilize on one side compared to the other. That's also very normal. There's usually quite a lot of asymmetry in the stability of the pelvis. And last one in this direction. Then change direction, circling the other way. Use your breath. Be careful that you're not keeping your foot in and taking your knee out to the side. Keep the foot and the knee circling together. And last one. And then bring that leg down to the mat. And that is one leg circle. We're going to go into spine twist now. So you're going to be sitting upright in a neutral spine and a neutral pelvis. You can decide where you want to have your legs for this one and if you need to sit on a block or a cushion, but however you feel comfortable is fine. We're just focusing on mobilizing the lower thoracic region, so at the bottom of the rib cage. Take your arms out on the diagonal, but if you find it too difficult to focus on what your arms are doing, you could cross them across your chest as well, like we did in a previous session, okay? So you're going to breathe in to prepare, and then out as you rotate your rib cage round, again, taking your shoulders with you. You're going to squeeze a little bit further, squeeze a little bit further, and then breathe in as you come back to center. Other side, you're going to go out, 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 and in. You're going round, squeeze, squeeze, and center. Be careful not to bounce into those squeezes, so we're not coming out and in and out and in. We're just going round, squeezing those abs a little bit more, squeeze a little bit more, and then back to center, okay? Keeping everything below nice and neutral. Breathing out, 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 and in. Last one, out, 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 and in, and then bringing your arms down to your sides and moving into rolling like a ball. So going onto the edge of your mat, make sure you've got nothing else behind you so you're not going to push your head onto anything. You're going to go into that C-spine again that we spoke about in the half roll back balancing just off your sit bones, your feet are off the mat, and you're reaching to your ankles. You can hold your legs if you need to, if you feel like they're going to move away from you, but otherwise reaching to your ankles. You're going to breathe in as you roll back and out as you roll up, and balance. In and out. Remember, you're not rolling back onto your head and you're not touching the mat with your toes when you come up. In and out, using your breath. In. This is all about the abdominals, controlling the tilt of the pelvis. Your legs are not creating the momentum here, so they shouldn't be opening up. Your knees shouldn't be opening up, and your legs shouldn't be moving away from your body. It's all about the abdominals. 2 more. And last one. And then balance and hold. As you may have noticed, my first one I did touch the mat with my toes, but sometimes you just need a few warm-up ones to get the hang of the momentum that your abs are creating. Okay, let's go into single leg stretch and obliques now. This is the abdominal workout that we have done in previous ones. They are very similar and they're going to follow on from each other. So single leg stretch is where you have both legs up and you're moving the legs away, and then we go straight into obliques where we're creating that rotation at the same time. Okay, so it's going to be quite fast paced with this one. Because both legs are up in the air, you need to be imprinted to stabilize your lower back. So going into an imprint, legs up into tabletop, and then you're going to come up into your ab prep position, hands on the sides of your knees. This is your start position for single leg stretch. You're going to breathe in to prepare and out as you stretch one leg away and bend the other leg slightly closer towards you. Now you decide how low this leg goes. If you are nice and stable with your imprint, you can bring that leg right down. But if that's creating a wobble over here, then don't go so low. Start a little bit higher. As long as you are stretching that leg away, that's all I want. So we're going to breathe out and out, out and out. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into obliques now. So take your hands behind your head, just with your fingertips pressing into your scalp. So you're just supporting your neck, not pulling your head forward. Keep your elbows wide as you rotate round towards the bent knee and then switch. So you're still stretching your legs away, but you're rotating from the rib cage, not from the shoulders. So don't take your elbow to your knee. That will be pulling your shoulder across rather than rotating from the obliques, going round, round, round. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Bring your head down first, then your legs down one at a time, still holding that imprint, and then release your imprint once both feet are on the mat. Not so easy to do when you're talking. Okay, we're gonna go straight into shoulder bridge now. So getting into the glutes and the hamstrings, keeping the stability with the abs, so keeping this neutral, and then working through the hip joints. So tuck your feet a little bit closer. Remember, this is similar to hip rolls from the warm-up, except we're not rolling the pelvis, we're keeping it neutral. Make sure that you keep your hips, your knees, and your feet all in line with each other. So you're gonna breathe in to prepare, and out as you push up into your bridge. As you breathe in, you're going to come down, bending at the top of the legs, not tilting the pelvis, so it's not coming from the abdominals. The abdominals are keeping a neutral spine. You're bending from the hips here, pushing up on the exhale, coming down on the inhale. Focus the squeeze into the hamstrings and the glutes here, and the abs are just staying semi-active to help you stabilize. So we're going to go squeeze and release, and down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there. We're going to add a little bit of instability here. So you're going to do heel lifts. You're going to lift one heel as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, lower it down, keeping this neutral. Other side, lift your heel and lower, alternating left and right. Lift and lower. You're breathing in as you lift, out as you lower, in as you lift, out as you lower for 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to lift the whole foot, but only a little bit. You're going to lift your heel, followed by your toe, and then come down with your toe, followed by your heel, keeping that level pelvis, not tipping and not sinking. Other side, heel, toe, toe, heel. Other side, heel, toe, toe, heel. And last one, heel, toe, toe, heel, breathe in to stay, and then out as you come down, bending at the top of the hips. And you should have felt that in the hamstrings, having to work quite hard there. Keeping transversus on will help keep that stability in the pelvis as well. And now we're going to move on to our final new exercise called rollover prep. As the name suggests, rollover prep is a prep exercise for a slightly more difficult and challenging version. So we're just going to work into that prep exercise today. And what this is going to do is going to aim to improve your abdominal strength and mobility, as well as your spinal mobility. Okay, so for rollover prep, this is about going over with your legs over your head. Okay, that's the full exercise. The prep isn't going to go quite so far. However, if you do have any spinal issues, particularly in the neck, the cervical spine, this is best to avoid because it does put a little bit of pressure onto the neck. The prep exercise is usually okay, but unless you've confirmed with a physiotherapist or a professional or an instructor who has experience in this, I would rather avoid it if you're just doing this one at home. Okay, so for rollover prep, again, both legs are going to be up off the mat, so you're going to need to imprint. So you're going to go into your imprint first, you're going to bring your legs up into tabletop, and then you're going to cross your ankles over and bring your knees apart. Make sure you keep that 90-degree bend at the knees, and we're going to be mobilizing from the lower back here. So you're going to be lifting your pelvis off the mat. It's not about the hips bending and you pulling yourself with your legs. That's relatively easy to do. The idea is that your legs and your pelvis stay together, and that bend is coming from the abdominals, pulling everything up off the mat and bending your lumbar spine, your lower back. Okay. You can have your arms at your sides for this one, but a lot of people tend to then use the arms too much and don't use the abdominals. It's up to you. You can leave them there. A suggestion is to hold your hands over here or hold onto your ears or somewhere around your head, not underneath your head, so that you don't use the arms and you find that you end up using the abdominals more. But totally up to you which you prefer. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in to prepare, and then as you breathe out, you're going to lift your pelvis off the mat. As you breathe in, you're going to lower it down. Now, it may look like I'm pulling with my legs. If I pull with my legs, this is what happens, okay? My knees move towards my chest and I pull with my legs. If I use the abdominals, the legs are going to come towards me, but I'm keeping quite a wide angle here and I'm working through from my belly button. That's what I want you to think about doing, folding from the belly button, not pulling from the legs, okay? So I'm going to have my hands up here so you can see what's going on here. You're going to breathe in to prepare, out as you lift, in as you lower. Now the key is to do this slowly. Don't throw yourself up and drop yourself down. That again is momentum and it's easy to do. It's about the control, about moving yourself up and coming down. So rather do a very, very small lift and do it with the correct muscles than try and lift too high and just throw yourself back with your legs. Okay, so you're gonna breathe in to prepare, out as you lift, and in as you lower. Out as you lift, and in as you lower. We're gonna do 4 more. Lift, and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more. Last one. Now you're going to switch your ankles round and do another 4. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 3, 2, 1. And then bring your legs back to tabletop. Bring them down one at a time, and then release your imprint. And that is rollover prep. Another one of the exercises that you should know quite well now is side leg lift series. So you're going to need a cushion or a block underneath your head just to make sure your head is in a nice position. You're going to lie on your side and your arms can be wherever you want them, but make sure that your pelvis is in neutral and that your legs are in a straight line. Okay, starting with the lift and lower, you're going to lift that top leg and lower it. It doesn't have to go high. Focus on the neutral position of your leg rather than trying to lift too high, and try not to drop your tummy down to the mat when you do these exercises. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep it there. We're going to do little circles with that leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the staggered lift. So keep that leg there. Bring the bottom leg up to join it, keeping your tummy away from the mat. So just the legs moving, not the pelvis. And then bring them down together. So it's an up, up, and down. Up, up, and down. up, up, and down. You're breathing in, and out. Last one, in, and out. Now together, lift them. Breathing out as you lift. In as you lower. Again, keep your tummy away from the mat. Don't tip your pelvis when you do this. Lift and lower. It can be really small as long as you're using the legs and not the waist to do this. 3 and 2 and 1. And bring those legs down. And finally, we're going to do the full body lift. So take your arm out above your head. Your palm is facing down. You either have this hand in front of you to help you balance, or you can rest it on your hip. You're going to breathe in to prepare and out as you come up, balancing as you do. If you have good balance with this exercise, you can bring that arm up to the ceiling. You can circle it round if you really want to challenge yourself. But if you find that this is quite wobbly, you can have that hand in front to help you balance. And then we're going to come back down again. Let's flip it over onto the other side. Okay, once again, over on this side, just check that you're in neutral. We're going to start with the lift and lower, up and down. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. Lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little circles now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep that leg there. Bring the bottom leg up to join it for staggered, and then bring them down together. You're breathing in and out. In and out. Keeping your tummy away from the mat, keeping your pelvis still. Up, up, down, up, up, down. 2 more. Up, up, and down. Last one. Up, up, and down. Now together, lift and lower. Again, stretching those legs away, not tipping from the waist. Keep your pelvis still. Just the legs. Lift and lower. Squeeze them together as you lift. Okay, let the feet slide. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift and lower. And finally, taking your arm out above your head for the full lift. Breathing in to prepare and out as you come up. Balancing as you do. Be careful your pelvis doesn't rotate, roll backwards or forwards when you do this. And then again, decide where you need that support. If you've got the balance to reach your arm up, challenge yourself. Try it. If you're here and you feel like, okay, I'm okay, lift your arm and challenge yourself. If you're too wobbly though, bring your hand down. I'm a little bit wobbly at the moment. So just decide where you want to have that arm and coming back down again. All right, we're going to move on to our final set of exercises. Okay, the final set of exercises is going to be working into our extension and our shoulder work. So we're going to start with Swan-dive prep. Lying on your front for this one with your legs wide, your toes are turned out and your heels are turned in. Take your arms a little bit wider. Now remember, this is full extension of the whole spine, but keeping the hip bones on the mat. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. This should never hurt. If you have any issues with your back, especially your lower back, please avoid this exercise unless you are 100% sure that you have been checked by a physio or a professional and you are able to do this safely. Okay, so we're going to start with the reverse head nod because it's an extension exercise, and we're going to slowly peel away from the mat, starting through that thoracic spine, working into the lumbar spine, giving a little bit of assistance with the arms, but keeping the shoulders active and stabilized, keeping the elbows soft. Don't prop yourself into this one. You're going to breathe in to stay, and then out as you slowly bring yourself back down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Breathing in with a reverse head nod. Out as you peel yourself away from the mat. Try and use your back muscles as much as possible until you can't go any further, and then you're going to help with the arms, gently pushing through into your full extension position, but with the hip bones still on the mat. Breathe in to stay, and out as you come back down. And last one, in to prepare with a reverse head nod. Out as you extend through, working through the thoracic spine first, and then coming down into the lumbar. Breathe in to stay, and out as you come back down to the mat. And then we're going to move into a shell stretch. Hold your shell stretch for an extra breath after doing Swan-dive prep, just to give your spine a bit of time to restabilize and stretch out. Remember, this is an active stretch. You're not lying on your lap. You're actively curling your spine to stretch it the opposite way. Okay, let's move into swimming prep. Next, you're going to go onto all fours for this one. This is where we're reaching the opposite arm and leg away, keeping a neutral spine and pelvis all the way through. So don't try and lift too high. Rather think about reaching away from your body than trying to lift your leg as high as possible. We want to maintain that neutral position, keeping the core active the whole way through, keeping the shoulders working. You're going to breathe in to prepare, and then out as you reach your opposite arm and leg away, keeping this all nice and still. And then as you breathe in, coming back down to the mat. Other side, reach away and coming down. Don't let your pelvis tilt. Don't let your back sink. You want to keep yourself in neutral the whole way through. Imagine you have a very big tray of full teacups on your back. You don't want them to fall, you don't want them to spill. Just balancing them there as you reach away and come back down. We're going for 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, and last one, and then coming back down to that neutral position. We're going to go straight into leg pull front prep now. So for this one, keep your hands in the same position, keep your body in the same position, but move your knees back just a little bit. You can also bring your knees closer together for this one, and you're going to tuck your toes underneath onto the mat. Make sure once you've taken your knees back that your body hasn't snuck you back towards your legs. It tends to do this because your legs are stronger to take the weight off your arms. But for this exercise, I want you on your arms. Okay, I would like you to stabilize your spine in neutral, and if anything, rather flatten your back, tucking your bottom in for this exercise, then not be stable enough in neutral and then you sink into extension, because that could cause some damage in the lower back, okay? So if anything, you're gonna go neutral or into a slightly rounded back for this one. You're gonna breathe in to prepare and out as you hover your knees just off the mat. It's a very, very small lift here. You're gonna breathe in to stay and out as you bring them down again. So don't lift too high. The higher you lift, the easier it is. Okay, breathe in to prepare, keep those shoulders active, and out as you hover your knees, in to stay, and out as you come down. 2 more, in to prepare, out as you hover, in to stay, and out as you lower. On this last one, if you'd like to do the leg lifts, join me, otherwise just hold and keep breathing. In to prepare, and out as you hover. Let's do the leg lifts now. Breathe in as you lift one foot, keeping your knees in line. Out as you lower. Other side. In as you lift. Out as you lower. Keep those abs on, stabilizing your back. In as you lift. Out as you lower. Last one. In as you lift. Out as you lower. Breathe in to stay. Out as you bring your knees down. And if you need to, you can do a quick shoulder stretch into that child's pose position. Because this is a shoulder stretch, you don't need to do the shell stretch position. Okay, and our final exercise we're gonna move into next is side bend prep, okay? This is gonna be shoulder work as well as mobilizing the spine, getting the core working and getting the legs working. This is a prep exercise. Once we get into the full exercise, there is a lot more activity in the legs, but for now, just getting that shoulder activity is good and getting the positioning right. So you're gonna be in this position with the legs bent, okay? Your feet are hugging each other, and your hand is going to be in line with your knee at the front, okay? So we're going to breathe in to prepare, and then out as you go onto your knee, and then shift yourself over, bending your body and reaching overhead. Make sure you're directly over this hand, okay? It's not too far away from you. You can always adjust it on the next one, and then coming back down again. Breathing in to prepare, out as you go up and over, open up your legs, push your hips forward, engage the glutes as well. Push away from the mat with this arm to get that shoulder working, and then coming back down again. Last one on this side, in to prepare, out as you go up and over, and in as you come back down again. Let's go over to the other side. Okay, make sure your start position is correct, and breathing in to prepare, and out as you go up and over your arm. Bend your body as much as you can, activate the shoulder, push the hips forward, and coming back down again. In to prepare, out as you go up and over. And in as you come down. Last one, in to prepare. This is one of those exercises that tends to undress you without you realizing. And going up and over. And coming back down again. And that is it for our workout today. Well done, you have completed session 4 of the Basic Pilates Mat Work series. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Don't forget to subscribe to The Honest Poppy to continue with the series and to see more videos like this one. See you soon, bye.